Hi guys, what's up? Heidi again. I'm over here in Illinois doing my second video. Here's my puppy. Hey puppy. She's actually pretty old. Hopefully you can hear me. I said she's actually pretty old, even though I call her a puppy. Here's my cat, Vincent. Hey, buddy. He's like the dog's in my spot, so I guess they're both gonna be up here. Anyway, getting back to the point. I'm waiting here to get in this dock to unload. This load I have is a split load. Part of it's going here, and then part of it's going here to Rochelle, as you can see over there at the water tower. Rochelle, Illinois. Boop. And then the rest of it's going to McCook, Illinois, which is outside of Chicago to the west. It's always nice to deliver to the west of Chicago when you're already west, because nobody wants to go through Chicago. No, but sorry, no offense, Chicago. It's just not fun. All right, so yeah. Anyway, a little introduction. I know the first video I put up was at night and the lighting was terrible, but I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm going for it. I've been thinking about doing a YouTube channel since 2007. Originally, I wanted to do a political punditry kind of thing because that's something that I like to do. I like to do a lot of investigative journalism, investigative research, and follow current events in the United States and around the world. But at the time, 2007, that was back in the days before we had endless data on our phones. So it wasn't really feasible. And at that time, I was in college. And then not long after that, I decided to drop out of college and go back on the road as a truck driver, which is something I've been doing. Trucking, I've been doing this on and off for about 24 years. So yeah, when I first came back on the road, this was 2012. I had limited data on my phone. Just having smart devices didn't exist yet. Actually, yeah. So having your computer in the truck and trying to do the data and trying to build a YouTube channel with limited technology at the time, and then also I was working a lot of hours, which I'm still working a lot of hours, 12-hour days, 5, 6, 7 days a week sometimes. YouTube channel just didn't seem feasible, which is a bummer, because I feel like if I had gotten in 2007 and in the beginning, kind of the beginning of YouTube, I wouldn't even be driving a truck at this point. I'd probably just have a YouTube channel. But yeah, so anyway, I've been kicking this idea around for quite a long time now. It doesn't feel like I've been able to fit it into my routine because I work so many hours as a truck driver. I work about anywhere from like 55 to 75 hours a week, sometimes more. It just depends on what loads I get and what's available, and what I want to do as far as maximizing income. Hey buddy. There are gonna always be distractions with animals in these videos, just a warning. So anyway, I've been kicking this around for quite a while. I'm finally at a point where I'm extremely well organized in my job. I have the limited technology. I have the resources. I feel like I have the free time where I can squeeze some videos in here and there. So I'm going to just go for it. These aren't going to be political, because clearly people aren't, they're not down for that kind of crap these days. I mean, they are, but it's just very controversial. So these videos are just going to be me sharing funny things that happen on the road. annoying things that happen on the road, shocking things that happen on the road, fun videos of my animals being funny and silly and crazy on the road. Also, time at home. I love to work on projects. I love to do carpentry work. I like to build things. And as I said in that other video, I've spent a good part of this year considering buying a home. I tried to buy a home a couple times. It didn't work out. It wasn't because I didn't have the ability. Like, I had the ability, I have the credit and the funds and everything. I could have easily just bought a house. I could have just bought any old house. The thing is, it didn't work out for me, like for my life, because of the cost and because of my age. And this is something, let me just throw this out here right now. I want to get this out here before I go on with the rest of this video. I think it's extremely important. If you are my age, if you're in your 50s, maybe even your late 40s, or say early 60s, and you are considering buying a house in the United States today, keep in mind, you're going to be paying on that for 20 years. So do you want to buy a house at age 55 and still be making mortgage payments when you're 75? I don't think that makes sense unless you're like upper middle class and you're a six-figure earner. If you're a six-figure earner, knock yourself out. But if you're just average working class like me, working class, my wages aren't low, but they're not great. They're pretty decent. It doesn't make sense to take on hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt when you're 10 years, 15 years away from retirement. You don't want to go into retirement with debt. When you're ready to retire, first of all, Social Security, as we all know, it's continually under attack every 2-4 years, whatever, depending on what excuse me, depending on who's in charge. I almost said a bad word there. So there's that. There's the instability of Social Security that we're constantly being threatened is going to be pulled out from under us. The second part is being able to save money. And if you're dealing with a volatile stock market for your retirement plan, that's another consideration. But yeah, because of all of these things, if you're in the working class, even if you're doing pretty good in the working class, you do not want to enter into retirement when you're sitting on a mortgage, you're sitting on student loan debt, you're sitting on credit card debt. That's a recipe for failure. That's a recipe for, oh, now I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to lose the house. I'm going to lose all the money I've paid in trying to buy this house for 10, 15 years, whatever. Now they're going to come and take it. So for me, I'm trying to think ahead. I'm trying to think about, I'm kind of late to this game, I've never bought a house before. I only have 10 years until I'll meet the minimum retirement age to receive full benefits. So I have 10 years to earn money and to try to establish a home, a place to live. And over the past year, like I said, I got into the market, I started looking around, and it's like, anything I buy at this point, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to get it paid off in 10 years. It's almost impossible. So, like I said, I decided at this point, I can spend $180,000, $200,000 over a 10, 12 year period buying a home, which actually, it'll be more than that. It's going to be like $225,000, probably. $225,000 minimum, $225,000. By the time everything's all said and done. I can do that, or I can just go spend $20,000, $22,000 and get a van and build it. Which is very little money compared to $200,000. And then, okay, what if the van, the engine or the transmission goes out, whatever, it goes to crap within 3 or 4 or 5 years, whatever. Okay, great, go buy another one. That's still way cheaper than buying a home. And for somebody who's single, like me, I'm probably going to remain single, and I got these pets, and of course I'm working all the time, and I'm not even home much. It just seems like a good solution. So getting back to the whole YouTube idea, I feel like at this point, got all these people out here that have, hundreds of thousands of subscribers or millions of subscribers, and they're, they're trying to sell things, and they're running these YouTube channels and using the YouTube channel as their sole income. I'm not trying to do that. I just, it's something I've always wanted to do, like I said, for many years now. I keep throwing it back onto the back burner and thinking, yeah, what, is that a good idea? Is there any perks or benefit of me having a channel? I don't know. It's something I want to do, and I'm going to do it. So I think it's important to try, whether it's super successful or not successful. At least it's something fun for me to do, and a place for me to throw up my ideas and share my experiences, which maybe some people will find interesting or entertaining. And I definitely want to chronicle this whole van build, which I know a bazillion people are doing van builds. Ooh, not a novel idea, Heidi. Everyone's doing it. Yeah, everyone is doing it. But it's something I've been thinking about for a long time. I originally thought about buying a van 5 years ago. I decided against it because the thing about buying a van and spending all the time and effort to build it into something, you're going to buy it, you got that initial cost, then you got to buy all the materials, then you have hours and hours of labor, cost of tools, all these things, and then you finally get this beautiful thing put together with all the gorgeous woodwork and the cabinets and all the cool little things you put in and all that, and then eventually something happens to that vehicle and it's trash, and then you got to start all over again. So, and originally 5 years ago when I entertained the idea, I decided to just do a cargo trailer because I like the idea of having two separate units. I have a cargo trailer, I build it out, and that's one unit. And then I have a separate unit, which is the tow vehicle. And if something happens to the tow vehicle, I can replace it with another tow vehicle. I still have the cargo trailer, which is outfitted as basically a, travel trailer or a tiny home, which is kind of what I did. Well, at this point, I lived in the trailer, like I mentioned in the last video, for about 3 years. I was able to accumulate lots of tools and lots of building materials, which I ended up using again in a second trailer that I built. But now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I've done the trailer thing. That was cool. I liked it. It wasn't the most ideal thing to build and live in because it needs a tow vehicle. And what I discovered was you really need a tow vehicle that's pretty heavy duty. You need at least like a 3/4 ton pickup truck to haul a cargo trailer around. Because if you try to use like a large SUV, it's too hard on the transmission. For example, like I said, a large SUV like a Honda Pilot or a Ford Explorer, something like that, is not really built, the transmission's not really built to be hauling around a cargo trailer. That's what I figured out as I went along with it. And so I never really hauled the trailer around that much. I basically just parked it and lived in it. And the other part of it that I thought was really inconvenient was having these pets. Phoebe and Vincent. Convenient having the cargo trailer, and every time I open the door, they're like, hey, let's go outside and run around. So then I had to be careful, where I'm at and wrangling them and that kind of thing, although they're both pretty well behaved. So it just felt like I had less control. And the other thing, the last part, is stealth. Trying to be stealth. Imagine you're trying to be stealth. So you got a cargo trailer that you've outfitted to live in, and you're trying to haul it with a pickup truck, and then you're trying to go park places and be stealth. Well, every time you need to get out of the trailer, it's pretty conspicuous. You're getting in and out of this trailer with pets and getting in and out of a truck, and then people are looking at it like, is this person camping or living in this? Whereas if you have a van, which is one unit, it's all one piece. So you're not having to open doors and get out, then climb into a truck, and then get out and climb back into a trailer. It's one unit. So you can go from the driver's seat to the back, deal with your animals, do what you got to do. And then if you're in a situation somewhere where you need to leave quickly, like maybe something's going on, you don't have to get out of the trailer, get the animals out of the trailer, load them in the truck, and then drive away. You can just walk up. If you're inside a van, a cargo van, you can just walk to the front of the van, get into the driver's seat, drive off. You don't have to get out. You don't have to put yourself at risk. So that's clearly, obviously, tons of people have mentioned this on YouTube, that is a perk of having a one unit instead of a 2 unit, instead of having a trailer being towed behind a truck or whatever. All right, so that's all I got for this video. Like I said in the last video, I'm going to teach myself to edit, and I'm going to get some music. I have a friend who's a musician. I'm going to see if he'll make some music for me to put up on these videos, make them a little more interesting. Just getting started out here. I'm sure they're going to be kind of a bit boring and not very fancy. I'm also going to teach myself to edit, and right now I'm using the phone to make the videos, but I'm also going to go ahead and get a nice camera and some better equipment, and then I'm going to continue forward. In the next couple of weeks, like I said, I'm going to purchase the van, and then I'll make a video once I do that and show you guys what it looks like, you know, all the details, what I decided to buy, for the reasons why I decided to pick that actual van, that kind of thing. Meanwhile, I have a bunch of videos that I've made over the past 3 years. The past 3 years, I've been a long-haul truck driver again. Before that, I worked as a yard jockey for a while, and then before that, I was a local driver for many years, where I just, you know, did local deliveries with a day cab and a 48-foot trailer, and I would punch a time clock in the morning and then go home every evening and work like 10, 11-hour shifts. But now, like I'm saying, I've been on the road for 3 years with the same company. And since I've been on the road these past 3 years, I've made quite a few videos that I think are pretty educational and some of them interesting, and I've put them up on Facebook. So I'm probably going to go back, dig those up, and put them up here on this channel while I'm teaching myself how to better YouTube and how to edit and how to make these videos a little more fancy. So that's all I got, guys. Like I said, to get in here, shouldn't be too long. I'm thinking I'll be here maybe a couple hours. That's all I got. Hope y'all are having a good day. Remember, safe travels. When you're on the highway, stay away from the big trucks.